Hello, my lovely Aquarians. This is your reading for the week of April 27th, or when you hear it and it resonates. And it will not be for every Aquarian, of course. But what I saw was this, and it was quite lovely. I was seeing a hot air balloon with really beautiful bright colors. And what I'm seeing is you on the ground. You're not actually in the basket. The sandbags that are attached to the ropes that are holding this balloon down are in place. And you're kind of walking around and you're a little bit fidgety. You're checking everything to make sure that everything's tied properly. And you're waiting to take off. But it's not clear why you're waiting to take off. But you're excited. But at the same time, one of the reasons you're not taking off is because you don't know where you're going. You don't know exactly where you want to go. You're not sure how to direct this balloon. So instead, what you're doing is you're just walking around making sure that everything in this one particular space at this moment in time is maintained. It's maintained. That's the word. It's maintained. It's taken care of. What is actually happening as you are doing this, what they're telling me is this: it is your excitement and your enthusiasm that is going to fill the balloon enough so that you can actually take off, and that you don't necessarily need to know where you're going in order to take off. But you do have to be willing to let go of the sandbags or put the sandbags down in order to be able to elevate off the ground. Now, why is this relevant and why is this important for you, Aquarian? Part of it is because, so part of how you deal with not going into overwhelm around emotions, some of you, it is that you just block them out. You just go, just get over it, get on with things. I don't know why people can't just get over stuff and get on with things. And sometimes, because you've had that attitude with yourself, you will apply it to other people. But this is really talking about you applying it to you right now. And that is that emotion can lead you into overwhelm. When you start challenging yourself to get out of old structures and move in new ways and go on adventures like this, it can be really overwhelming for you dealing with the emotion that comes up. So sometimes it's almost as though you'll just put blinders on to get through what you need to get through, and then you'll take a breath, but then you don't want to go back and look at what you shut out in order to move forward. This is relevant because it is those emotions that you have not necessarily processed that are the key factors to preventing you from letting go of the sandbags and taking off on a journey of adventure. You have the capacity to do that. Now what you're doing, now what you're being told is this: when you find yourself going into a state of overwhelm, instead of just shutting it out, because just shutting it out can be the thing that actually will not allow you to get in touch with the deeper emotions, the more exciting, more alive-making emotions that you would need in order to ditch the sandbags and take off. So what you're being told here is, by allowing yourself to continue to prepare things, make sure everything's tied properly, notice the emotions that you're having around taking off. Where have you not taken off in your life before because of other beliefs, because of people who've said you can't, or because you have internalized lessons that said you can't, or don't bother, or it's not safe, or it's never going to happen? You are in the process of being able to learn how to deal with deeper emotions. And it may be gradual, so please don't beat yourself up if it is gradual, okay? You have had a lot of emotions in your life. We all have, of course. But Aquarians, you are intuitive. You are quite deeply psychic. It's not always comfortable, especially when you haven't understood what was happening while you were picking things up. So if you were to deliberately, that's part of the reason why you haven't necessarily gone forward and really developed a lot of these intuitive abilities, is because you haven't had you haven't had the sense or the confidence that you would be able to deal with how readings would affect you emotionally. Some of you may have had experiences early on in life where it revealed things to you that you didn't want to know or that were hurtful or painful. And so sometimes that can be enough to make you go, oh, no, don't want to know that. Thank you. Ignorance is bliss. But it's not anymore, Aquarius. It's not. Now, ignorance is not only not bliss, ignorance is something that can stick you to the ground in a way where you can feel as though you can't move. And you know what? Some of you might stay in this small space, and that's okay. If that's where you're really happy and where you really feel like you can flourish, that's exactly what you need to do. And if you want to move beyond that, then starting to question some of the things that have made you feel like you couldn't just take off and live life as an adventure, or even something more moderately that, this is where you get to look at that and say, maybe I didn't have the confidence that I needed in order to deal with intense emotions back then when I instigated all these protective measures against feeling. But now I've lived a life. Now I've had experiences. Now I have a sense of being more than I was. Now I have built resilience and resources in myself. And now it's time for me to tentatively check those out and see how it feels. Okay? Now listen, Aquarius, some of you are going to be well on your way to this. Some of you have already lifted up 2, 3 sandbags. There's more. There's 2 more. At least 2 more. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that. And I'm going to wish you the best because I love this. As soon as I see a hot air balloon, this says to me emotions and communication is improving. It's getting better. It's moving. And for me, this is just like you're so close to liftoff. And you are totally in control of that. Okay? Good for you, Aquarius. You take care.